Have you always wanted to build a village? An epic village? Then wait no more, because this is a tutorial for you guys. I will try my very best to explain you how to build an epic village.
Let's go!
Wow!
Hello, my name is Louis the Pooey and I'm bringing you another tutorial about how to build a village on a mountain or cliffside, which is something I really wanted to do for a really long time, and that's exactly what I did. And besides that, I really want to show you my process and tips and tricks that I came across while building this thing to maybe help you a little bit with future builds, and hopefully that will work out. But before starting this time lapse, I really want to say something. And the thing is, I used World Edit. Yes, I know it's really hard in survival to terraform things and stuff like that, but don't worry, because the method I use, you can use them for everything. You just need to find a good looking mountain or cliffside or different elevation levels of ground, if you know what I mean, and then you'll be able to build a really good looking village. So the next thing I want to say is that I'm going to split this video in two parts. The reason for that is that I don't want to rush things too much, and I felt like I did that for some of the videos, and I really want to give you the best help I can. And it's really nice also to have a little bit more time to explain things and stuff like that. So the first tip I want to give you, obviously, is find something where there are different elevations, different levels of ground. Because take a plain biome and a mountain biome, set them next to each other, build on both of them, and you'll see a difference between those two things. On the mountain biome, you will actually see the buildings more separately from each other, you know, so they will pop out a little bit more. But on a plain biome, buildings will be hidden by other buildings, so it's really good when you walk through it, you know. But in my opinion, elevations at different levels gives a little bit more of a something. How I did, or how I do every building nowadays, is that I actually plan everything before starting beforehand. I didn't do that in the beginning. And I discovered that it's really a thing everyone should do, because it helps so much. You spare so much time while doing that. So the first thing I do is build roads, because this way I know where I can place or put down buildings. I know where it's efficient to walk, so that I don't mess up with the placement of the buildings and I need to remove them all thing later on. The same goes on with planning where the building will be and how big it will be. It can be a little bit bigger, less big than you usually planned, but while doing that it will spare you a lot of time. And other things is, I look at placements. For instance, like what I'm building right here is a planning for a fire tower. And why? Because this piece of ground was sticking a little bit out. It's next to the water, and I was like, a village, there's transport obviously later with ships, so the boats need to see where the village is to not crash on the land. The blue wool I used are for monuments, so I'm like, while you walk, it's really nice sometimes to take a step back and look at a building, a monument, and be like, oh, it's really nice. And what I did is I was like, alright, so every different level of ground needs to have a really good looking different buildings separately from the other buildings of the village, because this way it makes it a little bit more special. While walking up, you'll take more your time to look at the buildings and monuments, and it will give you that really good feeling. That's at least what I had, that you are actually in your hometown, in your own creation, and really good looking place where you like to spend your survival days. Alright, so at the top I was like, there needs to be a main building, and the big circle you see there will be the windmill. The reason why I did that is because the windmill obviously is gonna catch more wind while it's higher up next to the sea with no trees around. And I was like, that's gonna be the main building and it will look really good from down below. At least that's what I hoped. So that's what I did. And then obviously, as you can see right now, on different levels I'm building different type of shapes for houses and make them look a little bit different. But with a windmill, obviously people will need to get wheat. So the wheat I'm gonna place it down there where I just put down like that little square there, and that square there is gonna be the farmer's house. So I'm really thinking about efficiency while building things. I'm like, yeah, but if there's something, there needs to be something else. So I'm always like thinking about the little story of the village and why there should be that specific thing, my English sometimes, at that location. And right there, like I said, another monument that will be like sticking out of the sea. So from different angles you'll see really good looking things. If you come with a boat from this side, you'll see different things. But I'll talk a little bit more about those buildings later on. And the cross I use there is gonna be a tree. Alright, so the main village obviously is gonna be on the bigger part of this build. So it's gonna be next to the windmill. Right here I actually tried to build a church because I felt like a small village can have a small church as well, and in my opinion churches always look good if you build them like the right way, because it's really like an iconic building. While you go to cities and stuff like that, you'll see a lot of good looking churches or cathedrals, you know. So that's something I really always in real life stop by and look at, because I feel like it is so much art and the shape is really good looking. Alright, so that being said guys, I'm gonna explain a little bit more about the buildings and why I choose that and how I did implement that to the environment, because it's really important to make them fit with the environment, because otherwise those will be the environment and the buildings a separate thing, and that's something I don't want to be the case. So yeah, if you really like this video guys, don't forget to leave that like, comment for questions or suggestions, anything like that. I always like that. And subscribe obviously if you're new and if you want to see the part 2 and see the next result of this build, which is in my opinion really worth it, because it turned out to be a really great build. But if you want to see it yourself, feel free. Alright, goodbye, thank you for watching.